going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 57 of The Road to Glory, here with FC United and Manchester. Today, got a big game for you guys. We are at Anfield. We are taking on Liverpool. It's going to be a tough game, but first things first, I suppose we should cover fixtures. I feel as if that's a good place to start, so let's go straight into them. So, of course, last episode we lost to Manchester United at Old Trafford 1-0, and as I mentioned during the video and after the result, I was pretty happy with that performance all in all. You know, we didn't really do anything to threaten Manchester United, but the fact that we could take a beating from Manchester United and kind of survive the barrage of shots they had against us left me kind of feeling optimistic about when we go to smaller clubs having a good job. On the back of the Southampton game, on the back of the Man U game, we lost 1-0 to Southampton at home, which, to be honest, Southampton finished 10th last year, so they are a good mid-table team. Looking at the stats, it was fairly 50-50. Southampton perhaps just edging it, but you know, we didn't play badly, put it that way. You know, 1-0 was probably a fair result, but I was still fairly optimistic that if we put in these kind of performances, we would start to grind out some results. We had a little bit of a distraction after the second Premier League game of the season in the League Cup second round, where we got drawn against Scunthorpe. For this game, I rotated the squad heavily, and as you can see, Weimann and Nietzsche getting on the score sheet for us. Weimann getting a hat-trick on his debut. Really good stuff by those two guys. And looking at the stats, we really did dominate the game. So that was a good result, but of course you'd expect us to beat Scunthorpe, who are they a League One team? Yeah, they are League One. So, I mean, they're a mid-table League One team, so 4-0 was the least you'd expect. Following this game, we had a good away point at West Ham, which was another good result for us. Aidan White gave them the lead early on, and Shane Barney pegged them back for us. Looking at the stats, perhaps a little fortunate to get the point, but at the end of the day, you've got to ride your luck in this league and grind out points, and that point could be crucial come the end of the year. And then since then we had 3 home games, and we've won all 3 of those home games, which has been really good to see. First game was against Swansea, which we played very well in. We were the better team against Swansea. You know, Adney put in a man of the match performance during this game. 1-0, really good performance. Almost at 12,000 total attendance, which was good as well. And then following this, we got another hard-earned 3 points against Leicester. We again a bit of a smash and grab, but at the end of the day, you've got to get these results, and we are getting them. You know, I would have been happy after 5 games with 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses if you could have offered me it off those first fixtures. So that's good to see. As I mentioned, today we have Liverpool. Just a quick look at Shane Barney's stats. 3 goals in 5 games so far in the Premier League this year and an average rating of 7.12. So that's not too bad. Top performers in general over the last 5 games. Adney and Glenn Stewart have played absolutely insanely. Adney, of course, the German centre-half. He's improving well, and so is Glenn Stewart. Both these guys looking like they could be top players for us this year. But no, really good stuff. I mean, looking at his stats, 5 appearances, 3 man of the matches in those 5 games, and an average rating of 8.21. As for Glenn Stewart, he's performing well too, as I mentioned. Looking at his stats, he's improved massively yet again during the kind of last few fixtures. Got his first international goal as well recently, and he's now getting a valuation of 6 million, which is good to see, and hopefully that just continues to go up. So that's kind of good performances in the league. I think Mohamed Abu as well has played well at centre, defensive mid. Really good player. He wanted to leave the club, but I've got him on a new contract now, and he's a bit more settled than he was, because there was a few teams coming in for him late on during the transfer window. Speaking of transfers, there were a few to talk about come the end of the window. A few more players got released, and then a few players have gone out on loan. Charlie Fisher went out for 180k. He was one of the few sales during this window. Came in on a free 2 years ago. Never really broke into the first team. So not too bad to get 180k for him in the end. One player on the ins to talk about since last episode, Garfield Thompson here, the 18-year-old Jamaican lad. Looking at his stats, absolutely superb player. Got him from Harbour View in Jamaica for 5k, which is an absolute bargain. I can't believe how cheap he was, and really good to see him get in on a work permit. Looking at his stats, really good stuff. His mental stats aren't quite there, but overall, kind of his technical elements of his game in terms of his actual ability to tackle, head, and run. in terms of they're all very good for a centre back, and he's only 18, so plenty of time to improve, and he has only just turned 18. And I mean, looking at his wages, £170 a week is pennies really for a player who could potentially be one of the top centre backs at the club. And he kind of already adds to the existing really kind of plethora of centre backs we have at the club, which is good to see. So that's that. I think that's pretty much everything. So I suppose we'll get into today's game, which is away at Liverpool. We're going to be playing our full strength side pretty much. This has been the kind of starting 11 I've gone with. You'll notice one minor tactical change since the last episode. I've removed kind of the centre attacking mid in favour of a second striker. At the moment it's Barney and a thumb up top. Should be interesting to see how they get on. Looking at Liverpool's setup, they've got the likes of Eric Torres, Envilla, Jack Robinson. There's a few young players in there. I'm guessing a few of these are regens, but they've still got. Is that still Rayner? Damn, 37-year-old Rayner, loyal servant to the club or what? But no, this should be interesting because Liverpool are struggling in the league. You'll notice that they've actually played 5 games as well and they're 16th. So this is perhaps a potentially winnable game. Although really on paper you'd expect Liverpool to go out and beat us here. But we find ourselves in 9th place going into this game, which is absolutely superb and better than I could have ever dreamed of. Just, you know, we've got to keep grinding out points. If we get a few points and a few points and a few points, at the end of the day, we'll probably find ourselves clear of the relegation zone, and that's just what we've got to do. We've got to keep getting the vital points, occasionally peg a win, and just really, I don't know, get the results when they matter. And, you know, when we're playing winnable games, it's important that we do get the wins, which is what we've done so far. You know, we've beaten Swansea, we've beaten Leicester. Bury with an early chance then hits the crossbar and we'll get the ball clear. That is a warning for us. But 25 minutes in, it's still 0-0. They've hit the crossbar, of course, from that free kick. We're struggling to cope with numbers in midfield, and we're not doing a good job of possession. Apparently we're forcing Liverpool to long shots. I mean, 0-0 at half time, not too bad, passionate. I'm happy with the performance, keep it up. Calm. I'm happy with your solid defensive work. Midfield, calm. I have faith. Strikers, I'm going to go with I have faith. And everyone reacts well. Okay. So not too bad of a first half. Hopefully we can just keep it going in the second half and maybe just grab a goal. But good stuff so far. Good stuff. 60 minutes in, 0-0, no highlights. I'm not bothered if there's no highlights. I'm really not. It's all about just grinding out a few points, and I'll be happy with 0-0. Especially against a rival club away. I mean, to go to Anfield's never easy. They've got a chance here. Can we defend it? Oh, and it's a goal kick. Okay, I thought that was going to go in then. I was nervous. But no, not too shabby. I mean, speaking of Liverpool, I've got the new Liverpool kit, and it's awesome. Like, I don't know if you've seen it because it's made by Warrior, but it came out like on May the 2nd, and I've got my hands on it. Oh, we've got a chance here, unless this is just going to be a pointless end of match highlight, which it probably will be now I've said that. Good bit of play about Harry just over the crossbar, but I do not care, because that is an amazing point. 0-0 against Liverpool. Looking at the stats, we absolutely got dominated, but we held out defensively. And that was good. That was good stuff, you know. Looking at the stats, completely dominated, but we held out, and that's what we had to do. And as I said, you know, if we grind out a point every game, 40 points is my aim. If we can get 40 points this year, I think we'll be safe. So it's good to see us. It's good to see us performing well. Graziano, I think, got man of the match that game. Really good to see this guy performing well in the first team. In fact, all 3 of our centre-backs have done really well so far this year, so that's good to see. Looking at the Premier League table, on the back of that result, we find ourselves in 9th place, which is good to see. 6 games played, 9th place. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. I would have taken that if you could have offered me that. And we've just got to keep grinding out these kind of results. There's a few teams below us who have played less games, but you know, still to find ourselves in our position of 8 points from 6 games, I would have taken that at the start of the season, lads. I feel as if that's a really good start for us. So yeah, I think that's just about everything, guys. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a cheeky like. It really helps me out. And I think that's everything. So it's me, Jack, guys. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm out.